Hello and welcome to a texture pack review of my Shining Force texture pack. Shining Force is a tactical RPG game released on the Sega Genesis in 1992. I was about 13 years old when I first played it, and it was the first game that I considered as my favorite game. This texture pack was the first texture pack that I made for Minecraft. I made it back in April of 2011 when Beta 1.4 was out. Here's the dirt and grass dirt, gravel and sand and sandstone. We have the jungle tree, the birch, the oak, and the pine, and the saplings. With the saplings, I have had comments in the past on how they look kind of strange. There is an actual reason for this. The oak sapling in particular, this design is almost identical to the image of a medical herb or medicinal herb from Shining Force. It's a healing item, and I thought that it looked reasonably well for a sapling. And then later on, when the pine and birch trees were released as a sapling, because before you couldn't grow them. So once they had their own saplings, I tweaked the oak sapling, and then eventually here the jungle sapling as well. Now this texture pack, it's very bright and simple. For anyone who's familiar with the game, it also has a certain bit of nostalgia to it. As I said, it's simple. Here's stone texture. There's no real texture to it. It's a gray. This gray I did take straight out of the game. I mean, it's the right tone and shade and everything. And these cobblestone, I guess they're bricks, but the cobblestone is taken out of the game as well. Here's mossy stone, and it's in cases like this with the mossy stone I wasn't able to get a color from the Genesis palette to match what I was going for, so I had to kind of come up with my own artistic interpretation here. But we have the stone brick, cracked stone brick, and mossy stone brick, and again, this stone brick texture is straight out of the game. I believe the first castle that you ever find in the game, or where you start off at, is made up of bricks with this texture here. Next we have the ore, the coal, iron, gold, diamond, and lapis and redstone ore. And there's absolutely no ore and mining in Shining Force, or at least no mining that you can do yourself. So I had to kind of come up with my own look for all of the ore. And where I was able to, specifically with this yellow and the gold, I took the color from the game itself. The diamond is green, and there's a specific reason for that. I'll get into it later, why I chose to use green diamond. Here's the bedrock and the obsidian. It's a very purple obsidian. Here's stone slabs and the wooden door. The wooden door, again, the design is straight out of Shining Force, but the doors in Shining Force are a bit more squat. They have different dimensions, so I had to tweak it a bit in order to use it in my graph textures. We have clay and clay bricks, the trapdoor, here are the wooden planks, and the bookshelves. Okay, we have the crafting table, and with this texture pack I've made a GUI, the graphical user interface, that replicates the menus and such in the game Shining Force. Here's the jukebox and note block, pistons and button. And you may notice the sticky piston has blue slime on it as opposed to using green slime, and the reasoning behind that is that in the sequel to Shining Force 2, you do encounter slimes as an enemy, but they're blue. So I retextured the slimes for this texture pack to be blue, and correspondingly the sticky piston and slime ball. Here's the furnace and dispenser. It's a very menacing look on the dispenser there. And this redstone area here. The redstone lantern, it's the most recent change that I've made to this texture. These are brand new block in the game, and I may change them in the future. I don't have them cut exactly the way I want them to look. It's kind of a temporary fix or what have you. Here is the redstone repeater and the TNT. And see if this iron door will let me through. Hopefully. There we go. Okay, in this iron door, I took this out of the game. This iron door you can find when your character gets locked into a cell through part of the game. And I tried as best I could to copy that look. And as well as the bed. I believe that's where you find a bed, is in that cell. So that's the design for the bed in here. We have the ladder, the enchantment table, and the cake. And here are some paintings. These paintings, again, the graphics are taken from Shining Force. Almost exactly. The larger paintings use images from the background of battle scenes that you find in the game. Here's the iron, gold, and diamond blocks. Over there is the blue lapis blocks. And here in this room we have the wall. Again, as with the stone, there's no real texture to it. It's very simple, and that's trying to keep the overall look of the texture pack very simple and colorful. They'd work well with 3D pixel art. Aside from that, I mean, the real reason is, like I said, just to keep it a simple overall themed texture pack. Here's the ice and snow. This water, you'll need HD Patcher, Optifine, something that enables the high-def texture packs to have this water over default. But this, I made it, it's somewhat less transparent than the water in my other texture packs, and the reasoning was to try to get it the right color to match the water in Shining Force. Here's the cactus. We have the pumpkin and jack-o'-lantern, a couple flowers and a melon, and the very bright and colorful sugarcane. And here's the glowstone. This is my newest design for the glowstone. I initially, when I made this texture pack, it did not look like that. I'm pretty happy with it. It could change in the future. For one, it doesn't have a very naturalistic look to it, but I think it does work well with any sort of designing or special placement that one may do when building in Minecraft. Here's the netherrack, and it has a black to it, and it's somewhat of a chaotic looking texture, this netherrack, and I think that suits the whole idea of the nether quite well. And the lava is my custom lava that I use in all my texture packs. There's the soul sand. The nether brick stairs, and nether brick fence. I heard a zombie. No, I did. Don't know where he is. That's okay though, as long as the creeper doesn't come along and blow me up. whatever. Okay, here are the armor. Let's see here. This is the leather armor, and the design is, again, from Shining Force. One of the characters in the game, who is an elf, wears armor like this. And here's the iron. I'll try to put that on. This iron armor is designed from a suit of armor you just happen across. It doesn't really have any relevance in the game. It's just designed, for decoration. But I felt it was a good design for iron armor here in Minecraft. And lastly, I'll put on the diamond armor. And here is what your character looks like at the end of the game in Shining Force. He is armor pretty close to this. Looks like this, and he is holding the Chaos Breaker. It's the ultimate sword in the game. The final, most powerful weapon. And it's the reason that the diamond in this texture pack is green. Because, of course, if it was to be the strongest sword, if I'm playing Minecraft, then it has to be made of diamond, and correspondingly I made the diamonds in the game, or this texture pack anyway, green. So all of the diamond tools are of that same sort of look, just the diamond pickaxe. So like with most of my texture packs, I've transitioned from a very primitive looking wooden tool set through stone and iron up to the sharper, more advanced looking diamond. Here's some items. Again, here's the blue slime ball, like I mentioned. This is the Ender Pearl, a graphic that I found in the game. Can't remember the item in Shining Force that this represents. But here's a cookie, and this apple, again, this is from Shining Force. Anyone who's played Shining Force 2, these are the legs of haste. It's a beneficial item from the game, and it's raw chicken and cooked chicken here in Minecraft. The lapis, I know, the cactus, and ink sac, I know these are custom, not default Minecraft. And along with these jars of dye, this is my own custom texture for those. Okay, there's the moon. It's not the same moon as the realism and dark realism texture packs I made, where I basically used Earth's moon. I want to say I found this somewhere that has something to do with Shining Force. I can't remember the source, but I tried to replicate the moon that is supposedly the moon of Shining Force. Here's just a quick look at the environment. And I'd like to thank everyone for watching this texture pack review of my Shining Force texture pack. Take care.